Well, hello scrappers, welcome back to my channel. Mike here, and it's time for another Q&A video because a couple of my videos I've released lately that have been pretty popular have generated a lot of questions and good suggestions too, I have to say. The video where I processed 45 pounds of RAM chips for Ken up in BC, Canada, well, it was a whole series of videos. It was 7 videos long. That was a process, let me tell you, getting through all those chips. And a lot of good suggestions at each step along the way, and some good questions too. And then also the video I released about processing waste. That went over really well. You know, I had a lot of waste after doing Ken's chips. So we're also going to talk a little bit about, give you some updates on some things, and talk about maybe some upcoming events and mystery boxes. I think they're finally just about available. I got a lot of interest in those when I brought them up back during my 10,000 subscriber giveaway. So I think we're going to finally be ready to deal with some mystery boxes. So we'll talk about that later. Let's get right into it here. First off, when I was processing Ken's chips, I mentioned a couple of times that there was a shortage of distilled water around here, and there still is. You can't get distilled water in the grocery stores. It's just not there. Why? I don't know. I mean, just the weirdest things you can't get in the grocery store or at the hardware store or wherever store these days. And post-COVID, the supply chain's all messed up. I found that deionized water works pretty darn well. But a lot of people said, why don't you just use rainwater? You know, put out some buckets, collect the rain. Because the ocean's a mile in that direction. The ocean's a mile in that direction. The ocean's a mile in that direction. I live on a peninsula in the middle of the ocean, okay? Our rainwater is full of salt. Absolutely loaded with salt. It corrodes everything. It's an ongoing problem we have out here living on the coast. We have a lot of salt in our rainwater. So our rainwater is not good for doing, what I was trying to mainly do was keep silver in solution and not have it come out as silver chloride. So I can't use our rainwater for that because some of it at least will come out as silver chloride. Somebody else suggested use the condensate from my air conditioner. Well, that's kind of an interesting idea. Where the drain is, it would be kind of hard to capture it. And that is some disgusting water. There's a lot of nasty stuff living in the drain plumbing of our air conditioner system. We have to pour bleach down it every once in a while to keep it from clogging up from all the crap that grows in there. So I wouldn't consider that very pure water either, you know. Yeah, so fortunately, deionized water, which is available in the grocery store, seems to be working pretty well for me when I need distilled water, okay? But thanks for the suggestions, and in a lot of other places, rainwater would probably work. So keep that in mind if you're hard up for some distilled water. Let Mother Nature distill it for you and catch the rainwater, okay? Let's see, what else? Okay. So there was a lot of incredulity that it took me 7 gallons of hydrochloric acid or muriatic acid to process Ken's chips because I was using that to dissolve the iron and steel out of the chips. And, you know, in hindsight, especially after doing my waste processing video where I processed some of that waste from Ken's chips, that acid wasn't, you know, spent. I could have recycled it onto another batch of chips really easy and got some more use out of it. I think I just single-used it because I was in a hurry and I was trying to process all these chips in between trips out of town and whatnot. But yeah, I probably could have got by with maybe half that much acid or even less if I had recycled the acid onto the next batch, because it wasn't spent. It was still very highly acidic, very potent. When I went to neutralize it with the hydrated lime, it's like, oh, this has taken a lot more hydrated lime than the stuff coming out of my waste bucket usually takes, because that acid wasn't spent. It still had a lot of strength to it, so I could have just recycled it onto the next batch of chips. So yeah, there was room for improvement there, and I will remember that down the road. I will remember that. Somebody asked, speaking of muriatic acid and waste processing, somebody asked in one of the in one of the comments if it was possible to regenerate the hydrochloric acid like I regenerate nitric acid out of my waste. And I suppose in theory it is possible. I wouldn't know how to do it. Anybody out there who's, a big inorganic chemistry buff, and if you know how to turn like ferrous chloride back into hydrochloric acid, post a comment. Let me know. I think a lot of people would be interested, in recycling that, getting it back. I personally thought about it a little bit, couldn't figure out a way to do it, moved on to other things, but maybe somebody out in the audience knows how to do it. All right. Another question I get a lot, or comment too, is I don't do enough stannous chloride tests. I know if you watch some of the other channels out there, they're always doing stannous chloride tests. Every time they dissolve gold in Aqua Regia, they do a stannous chloride test. I'm like, why? You just dissolved gold in Aqua Regia. It's there. What's the point of the test, And I think they get repetitive after a while, so I don't show a lot of them. I do tests, but I don't show a lot of them. Like, what I really need to know if there's gold in my solution, that's when I test it, okay? If I just dissolved an ounce of gold in Aqua Regia, I know there's gold in there. I don't have to test it. It's just a waste of the solution. It's a waste of time. But, if I just dropped gold from solution, yeah, I'll test that solution to see if I got all the gold out. Or if I'm dealing with a solution, I don't know if there's any gold in it. I just dissolved some stuff, and I don't know if I'm getting any gold in solution. I'll test it. But, when I know there's gold there, there's really no need. And a lot of times I'll do a drop from solution, and I'll wind up with, a crystal clear liquid, no color to it. I'm like, if there's any gold in there, it's not enough to worry about. It can go right into my stock pot and I'll recover it. And I don't waste my time doing a stannous chloride test. But, I should probably do more on camera, and I will endeavor to remember to do more on camera in the future. But only at times when you really need to know if there's gold in solution or not. Okay? I mean, a lot of these channels, it's like, oh, let's do a stannous chloride. Oh, let's do another one. Oh, let's do another one. Yeah. Okay, that's kind of a waste of time and, your gold solution. Okay, an update, a stir plate update. A lot of the criticism I used to get was that I didn't use hot plate stir plates, okay? And they would make life a lot easier, but they're expensive. And I was afraid that they wouldn't last any longer than the cheap hot plates I was buying for my fume hood over there. And the fumes in the fume hood destroy those in like 6 months tops. So finally I broke down, I bought a hot plate stir plate. It was used, so I didn't pay that much for it, okay? And then I did a scrap pickup quite a while back now, and I wound up getting 3 more in that scrap pickup. I'll put a link in the upper right where you can check out that scrap pickup if you're interested. What all I got. It was a big one. So, sure enough, while I was processing Ken's chips, my original hot plate stir plate, the one I bought, failed on me. Took it apart, thought I could fix it, but decided it was just too far gone. The fumes had corroded all the electrical connections in it so badly, I'm like, nah, it's done. And then, just after I was done with Ken's chips, one of the ones I got in the scrap pickup failed on me. I had it in the fume hood. Took it apart, I'm like, oh, this one's in pretty rough shape too. So I scrapped it out. Third one died just a couple days ago. Now that one I managed to resurrect using parts from the second one that died. I saved some of the parts that were still usable, and managed to get the third one back up and running again. But yeah, it's just like I feared. Don't put expensive equipment in your fume hood, because the fumes in there are just gonna destroy it, okay? If you're gonna get a hot plate stir plate, get a cheap one, and don't expect it's gonna live more than about 6 months. I'm sure the fact that I work outdoors contributes to their demise, because of the humidity and the temperature variations and whatnot. There's probably condensation inside them fairly regularly as the temperature drops overnight and it's so humid. And of course, the condensation mixed with the chemicals, it's bad. They might live longer in an indoor, air-conditioned laboratory with a fume hood, but really, the fumes, they just destroy everything. The hydrogen chloride, the nitrogen dioxide, the sulfur dioxide, whatever else I'm cooking up in there, it just destroys the equipment. So from originally having 4 hot plate stir plates, I'm down to 2, and one of them is kind of iffy. I've got it fixed again, but I could tell when I was looking inside, a lot of the connections in there are in bad shape. And sooner or later, I may not be able to resurrect it if it fails again. So yeah, so that's an update on the hot plate stir plates. They do make life easier, but boy, they don't last long, and they're expensive. Okay, previews of upcoming events. Very soon, if it hasn't already hit, I'm not sure which of these videos is going to come out first. Video on getting gold out of ceramic IC chips and how I do it. So that's coming up very soon, if it hasn't hit already. And then, one other suggestion or comment or criticism I get a lot is that, you know, when I'm doing chemical extractions of gold from stuff, people say, well, you ought to just be smelting that. You're doing it the hard way. Well, actually, I don't think the chemical methods are the hard way, really. I think smelting is probably the hard way, because with the chemical methods, I can get complete separation of the precious metals, which you can't do with smelting. But smelting does have a few advantages. And I've been hearing this from day one, that I should be smelting. So, I have been slowly building up all of the equipment I need to do smelting. Okay? Got a cone mold, got some fire assay crucibles, got some cupolas, got some flux. So, we're going to try doing some smelting in the future. So that's a preview of upcoming events, okay? I think the first thing I'm probably going to try smelting is some actual gold ore, because I have some of that from all my trips out west. I've been collecting it from old mines I visit. So I've got some gold ore. We'll probably try smelting that first. And then I might try smelting some e-waste and see just how well that goes. See if it really is, you know, the end-all be-all that a lot of people make it out to be. We'll see. It should be interesting anyway. I've been practicing a little bit with smelting this and that, and I'm not very good at it yet. We'll wait till I get a little better, and we'll make a few videos and see how the smelting works out. Okay, so there's a preview of upcoming events, ceramic IC chips, and smelting and gold ore. Okay, so those are coming. Okay, I think it's time to talk about mystery boxes. Back during my 10,000 subscriber party video, I gave away a couple of boxes of e-waste to a couple lucky winners, and I said, well, if the people are interested in getting boxes like this, just let me know. I can put some together. I could sell them to you for like a nominal cost plus shipping, and you know, they'll follow the theme of learning how to extract gold from e-waste. They have a theme to them. There'll be a variety of stuff in there, and you can figure out, you can sort of like learn at your own pace, watch my videos, watch other people's videos, and see how to get the gold out of the wide variety of e-waste. I'll put a wide variety of e-waste in the boxes, all kinds of stuff. So you can sort of learn how to do gold extraction from e-waste on your own. So yeah, so I think we're finally ready to start selling some boxes. So let's take a look inside a typical box and show you what you might get, because they're all going to be a little different. So don't expect to get the same thing in every box. They're going to be different. But we'll take a look at a typical one and see what you're going to get. Alright, so let's take a look at a typical mystery box. It's going to be a large flat rate box from the Postal Service, U.S. Postal Service. And one of the reasons I call them mystery boxes is because you don't know what you're going to get. You know, the whole theme of these boxes is getting started in e-waste recycling and refining. And if you're doing a pickup, like at a customer site or something, you don't know what you're going to get till you get there and you pick it up. And then you have to make the best with whatever it is you do get, okay? And these mystery boxes are going to be kind of like that. They're going to have good stuff in them, but I can't emphasize enough that they're all going to be different, okay? Not every mystery box is going to be exactly the same. They're not all going to have the same stuff in it. They're going to be a surprise, okay? But we'll look at a typical box and see what you might get in a typical box. And I'm going to, like I said, it's a large flat rate box, and I'm going to try and stuff these pretty darn full. Like the post office says, if it fits, it ships. So I'm going to stuff them pretty darn full. So let's see what you might get in a typical box. We got a desktop motherboard here. Now here's a bag full of gold-plated connectors. All these connectors have some kind of gold plating on them. Okay. Oh, we got a RAM stick here. Here's a circuit board with long gold-plated pins on the back. All right, and some other components on the front. All right. Another circuit board with gold-plated pins. This looks like circuit board off of a SCSI hard drive. Yeah, that's what it was. SCSI hard drive. Got gold corner BGA on it. Got some other components that have gold in them. Got looks like a dual RS-232 slot card for a desktop computer. Got gold fingers on it. Gold-plated connectors. Got some IC chips that got gold in them. Lovely. There's a 2-inch hard drive right there with gold-plated fingers on the back. There's going to be components on the back of this board. There's components inside it. Another RAM stick. Let's see. We got this looks like a laptop motherboard. Yeah, so that's an entire laptop motherboard. Oh, we got gold corner BGAs. We got lots of gold plating all over it. This is some sort of little LCD screen. Came out of some piece of equipment I scrapped out. Got lots of gold plating on it. Got lots of big flat pack IC chips on it that contain gold. Another little PC board with components on it. Another desktop computer slot card with gold fingers, gold connectors. Looks like a network card. Just miscellaneous connector with gold fingers, gold pins in it. This looks like the board from a DVD drive. It's got gold-plated connectors on it. Got some IC chips with gold in them. This looks like a board that came out of a big industrial printer I scrapped out. It's got lots of gold plating on it. It's got lots of connectors with gold plating on it. Lots of IC chips, lots more gold plating on this side. So plenty of gold there. Another RAM stick. Oh, look at this. We got an entire little notebook computer. Now again, can't emphasize enough, not every box is going to be the same. Not every box is going to have a notebook computer in it because I don't have enough for every box. But some people will get notebook computers. Another RAM stick. Another RAM stick. There's DVD drive. So here's a great big honking extruded aluminum heat sink with a fan attached to it. So, you know, when you get into e-waste scrapping and recycling and metals recovery, don't turn your nose up at the aluminum and the copper, okay? They can actually make you significant money. If I scrap out, you know, a couple of dozen desktop computers, I'll get a couple of dozen big, hefty heat sinks like this that are either aluminum or copper. Hey, they're worth money at the scrapyard. They pile up, you know, and you can take them to the scrapyard and hey, you got beer money for a couple weeks, okay? So don't turn your nose up at this. This is an opportunity to learn about scrapping, okay? So the copper and the aluminum are not something to turn your nose up at while you're going after the gold and the silver, okay? Got a desktop 3.5-inch hard drive here, and again, you know, we got a board on the back with gold fingers. There's components on it. There's components inside. But I'll tell you what, the case of this thing is forged aluminum, and it's quite heavy. And if you scrap out a whole bunch of these and take them to the scrapyard, you know, clean up these forged aluminum cases, take them to the scrapyard, you get good money for them. Looks like we got another desktop motherboard down here on the bottom. So there we go. That's kind of the contents of a typical box. Oh, there's another RAM stick down there. Don't want to forget it. We've got quite a few RAM sticks. All right, so that's the contents of a typical box. Like I said, they're not all going to be identical. They're going to be different. There might be all kinds of stuff in the box. There might be motors. There might be, you know, actuators. There might be industrial equipment. But it's all going to be good stuff that all has, you know, recoverable metals in it. You know, not just gold and silver, but maybe some copper, maybe some aluminum, just to sort of get you started with, you know, the idea of scrapping out stuff and getting the maximum value out of it. Like I keep saying, don't turn up your nose at the copper and aluminum when you're going after the gold. The gold's nice. The copper and aluminum, well, they can be a nice payday too as they pile up while you're doing this. You know, I've scrapped out hundreds of hard drives and made a lot of money off the aluminum cases. I've scrapped out hundreds of desktop PCs and made a ton of money off of the heat sinks that were on the processors and on the other chips in them. So there you go. So provisional pricing, and this may change depending on demand, availability, and what kind of quality of stuff I've got to put in here. Pricing may change in the future, but I'm looking at like 35 bucks plus shipping. Okay, what it's going to cost to ship you a flat rate box. So that's what we're looking at right here. And like I say, pricing may change. Everyone's different. There's going to be limited availability. First come, first serve. Don't ask me for a particular box with a particular thing in it, because you're just going to get whatever box is on top of the pile. Okay? I can't do that. It's just like whatever box is on top of the pile today, that's what you're getting when you place your order. Okay? So if you can live with those rules, here you go. Here's your mystery box. Okay. All right, it's all packed up again. Ready to go off to somebody. I may stick a few extra things in there just to, you know, finish up, take up some of that space in there, keep it from rattling too bad. I'll try to pack them as tight as I can before I ship them out. Availability is going to be limited because, you know, I got to scrap some of this stuff out myself, you know, to keep the e-waste gravy train rolling around here. So basically, when I'm up to my ears in e-waste and don't have time to process it all, I will put together some boxes, all right, and make them available. It's going to be now and then, here and there, probably not available all the time. So so email, check my website, my blog, whatever. Always email first to see if they're really available, because the blog's going to be behind, all right? So I'm going to try and get these on the blog. I'm going to try and get a for sale section on the blog. I've got a lot of industrial equipment. I've got a lot of machinist equipment that's good stuff. Just it needs a new home. You know, I don't want to just take it to the scrapyard and get scrap metal value out of it. A lot of it has intrinsic value because it's good equipment that can be reused. So I'm going to try and put a for sale section on my blog for that stuff, and these will appear too. But like I say, email me first to make sure they're really available. They're not sold out. Okay? About these mystery boxes, I went over all the salient stuff, I think, while I was poking through it there. The theme is e-waste refining starter kit, basically. You know, get started in refining e-waste. Here's your raw material. Watch my videos, watch other people's videos to figure out how to do it. Provisional pricing, $35 plus shipping. Okay, not trying to make too much money on them, just trying to get them out there because there was a lot of interest. Again, no two are going to be alike. I can't guarantee what you get, so don't ask for a particular box or a particular thing. You'll get whichever one's on top of the pile and whatever's in it. Limited quantities, they're going to be very limited. First come, first serve. Email me for availability. PayPal for payment for now. I may get these up on my blog. I'm working on like a for sale section of my blog. I got some other stuff I'm trying to sell, stuff from my e-waste pickups that's actually, you know, good equipment, good reusable equipment, industrial stuff, machinist stuff, whatnot. So I'm trying to put together a for sale site on my blog for that. I'll see if I can get these up on the blog, but again, the blog is always behind reality. So you got to email me and see if these are actually available, all right? So anyway, we'll see if all the people who said they were interested in these actually come through and want to buy one or not. Otherwise, you know, hey, I'll just unpack them and process them myself. So we shall see how it goes. All right. I hope this answered some of your questions. Thanks a lot for all the suggestions. You know, I didn't even get around to half the suggestions, or a third of the good suggestions that I got. You know, the Refining Ken's Chips video, seven videos, produced a lot of comments, and there were a lot of good suggestions, a lot of good ideas in there. I thank everybody who commented. I encourage everyone, leave a comment, leave a suggestion, leave some constructive criticism. I learn a lot from you guys, and I can pass it on to others in the video. So keep up the suggestions in the comments, okay? And check out my second channel, Electric Geek 64. Good stuff going on over there. And like and subscribe in both places. Press that stupid little bell icon YouTube wants you to press to be notified when new videos are released, because if you're a subscriber, you will be notified when I release a new video if you press that bell icon. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks again for watching. Bye.